Titanium sounds futuristic, right? But when it comes to cutting boards, could it actually be hurting your knives? Today we're putting that to the test. And since everyone goes crazy and trusts ChatGPT these days, if you want to see how it answered the question, are titanium cutting boards any good? And if it differs from my opinion, check out the video description for the full answer. I should also point out, I ordered this off of TEMU for further insult to injury. It was the cheapest cutting board on their site with all the discounts. Go figure. Alright, let's see what we got. Out of the box, this thing is sleek, solid, and really light for its size relative to a material of equal thickness like wood or rubber. It almost feels like I'm about to cook on a piece of metal armor or a baking sheet. But here's my worry. It's way harder than wood or plastic and likely the knife steel I am using. That could mean bad news for our knife edges, especially thin-edged knives like most Japanese kitchen knives, or even high carbon steel knives that might chip when using them on an inappropriate cutting surface, like a metal board. Also, yeah, of course, I'm absolutely in love with this particular model when there's just this nice big gap of a handle on my cutting board, reducing the amount of usable space. Let's do a few test cuts. Now, should I use my ultra thin Giro? Maybe my nail flexing Hado? Yeah, right, I don't trust this board. I'm not even going to use a relatively soft Bob Kramer. I'm going for my beater of a Solingen chef's knife. Quick paper test before use. Time to chop. Do you hear that? That's metal on metal. Let's slice through this onion. Let's rock chop some herbs. It's a bit slick, and while it looks cool, kind of, but not really, it doesn't really feel natural. My knife's not gliding on the board, more like skimming. It feels slippery, not necessarily unsafe, but definitely not grippy. Well, that was quite the auditory experience. Titanium boards. Cool look, but here's what you need to know. They are extremely durable, but that's not why I would choose them though. They don't absorb odors or bacteria, given the material is non-porous. I guess that's nice, but bacteria also lives on the surface of your tools. Our bodies are manifestations of bacteria, but I guess, let's just skim over that detail. Titanium is incredibly strong and resists warping, cracking, or staining. I never thought this was a problem really, but sure. So those were the apparent pros. But titanium boards are, more importantly, too hard and incredibly unforgiving for your knife edges. On high carbon steel knives, it'll lead to chipping 100%. And on soft steel knives, the edge will roll very quickly, which means using a kitchen knife on a titanium board leads to more time sharpening and maintaining your blades. Titanium boards will wear down your blades fast. And though not a hill to die on, they are loud and slick and unpleasant to chop on. Here's the good news though. You don't need to suffer like I did testing this for you, and some of the knife-friendlier alternatives that could actually make sense would be engrain wood. Beautiful and knife safe. What about synthetic rubber? Grippy and gentle on your knife edges. Or, especially for the restaurant folk, a high-quality HDPE plastic as it's easy to sanitize. Would I use this again? Nope. And I don't even know where I'm going to put it, but I won't get rid of it because I don't like to waste my money. But it's definitely not ideal for regular kitchen knife use or knife longevity. Titanium might sound cool, but for cutting boards, it's a gimmick that hurts your gear, your wallet, and has zero benefit in the kitchen. Stick to wood, synthetic rubber, or at the very least, high-quality plastic. Your blades will thank you. Stone, glass, bamboo. Now also added to that list, titanium should be avoided like the plague if you appreciate taking care of your knives. If you found this helpful, give it a like, drop your weirdest kitchen gear in the comments, and subscribe for more knife nerd content. Otherwise, you won't see this titanium cutting board ever again, but I'll see you in the next video. Alright, so I've literally come back post-editing this video to let you know that I finally thought of the right crowd for this titanium cutting board. If you're any one of those people that sends me a lot of flack in the comments about microplastics, and you're so worried about microplastics that even my synthetic rubber cutting boards aren't good enough for you, this is the board for you. Enjoy.